Will earnings revitalize Alibaba stock? Today, we will analyze Alibaba stock before it reports earnings this Thursday, August 15, 2019, around 7 a.m. Eastern Time. That's 2.5 hours before the market opened for trading. We're going to review what the market expectations are for Alibaba EPS and revenue, and the latest analyst rating and the average price target for Alibaba stock. Then moving on to the technical analysis and identify some potential support and resistance level for Alibaba stock, and wrap it up by comparing these levels to what the market has priced in for Alibaba stock after earnings. Before I begin, let me remind you to click the thumbs up if you like the contents in this video, and click the subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, and click the notification icon so you won't miss any of my future videos. Thank you for your support. Since June 2018 high at $211.70, it had lost 24.8%, a loss of $52.58 based on the recent close of $159.12. From May 2019 high at $195.72, it had lost 18.7% and a loss of $36.60 based on the latest close of $159.12. Here are the expectations from the market. The EPS, the whisper number is $1.49 per share, and the consensus is $1.51. So it appears that someone is believing Alibaba is going to miss the EPS estimate. And the revenue is estimated to be $16.53 billion. 47 out of 48 analysts rated a buy or a strong buy, with an average target price of $221.61. The low of the range is $164.79, and the high of the range is $284.82. Looking at this weekly chart of Alibaba stock, we're going to just quickly identify some obvious potential support and resistance level. So we see here is this 2018 high, about the 211.70, and here's this May high of this year, somewhere around 195.72, and the recent pivot low here, and also the pivot low back in December. So these are some of the potential support and resistance level based on the weekly chart, and we will drill that in a little bit more on the daily chart. Looking at the daily chart here, we're going to fill in some of the other potential support and resistance level for Alibaba stock. I have a composite volume profile here to help me identify other potential resistance zone and support zone. So the first thing I do is essentially look at these low volume area. Right, so before I do that, let me just go ahead and fill in these area. Highlight these areas and fill in the zone for these potential support and resistance that I identify using the weekly chart. Right. It doesn't have to be accurate. You just want to identify a zone, so essentially give you a little bit of a visual alert. So when the price get to that area, and basically watching for price reaction and see how it react. Now, also I noticed that there is a pivot up here, right? So it seems like there are some price level here, and also there is a high volume node here, and we see that the price is kind of taking that high volume node, like a little bit of a resistance. So I'm just gonna fill in here, and that could be a potential resistance zone. And also I got a low volume area here, so I'm gonna try to fill in that and get that in as a potential price level or price zone for price reaction. And then here we also see a little bit of a low area right between these high volume area. Right. So I'm going to put that in. It doesn't have to be accurate. It just, again, you basically just want to get some idea of where some of the potential rejection zone because we talk about the volume profile on these low volume area. The price have a tendency of getting rejected when it get to those level, or move quickly to it, because in the past when it get to those price level, there has not been much of a trading activity. In other words, there's no interest between the buyer and seller to transact business there. So price have a tendency to move away from it quickly, right? Either up or down. So that's why I kind of use these price zone to gauge the potential rejection. I call it rejection, right? So just kind of get some of these level in here right now, and essentially let me mark that off so we know what sort of level that we might be looking at. And okay. So these are some of the additional support and resistance level that I'm just marking off on based on the zone that I just put in. Okay. So now we're gonna take a look at some of the potential price action scenario. Oops. Let me move that away. I believe that was an extra that I accidentally put on. Okay. So here we are. We're gonna be looking at this price action here. We'll see that just look at this swing here. Just go back and look at this swing, and just remind ourselves what is a trend and how price action behave in a trend, either in an uptrend or a downtrend. In this case, we just kind of look at this uptrend here. So the first thing is we look for a higher high. So once it break this high, right, because it got low here, so it break this high, so we got a higher high, and then we want to see it come back for basically a retest of that high and hold this pivot low. And you can see that it went up, came back down, so it held this low. I mean, it held this low and then went back up. All right, getting a little bit messy. Okay, so essentially, so it took out this high, right? And here's the low that we want to make sure it doesn't get violated. If it doesn't get violated, then we basically have a higher low, which it did. It came up and then bounced. And then the next level that we want to see to take out to make a higher high is this particular high. So it broke out of that high and it came back, retest that level, that breakout level, and held this low. Okay, so now we got a higher high, higher low, and a higher high. So now once again it bounces back up and broke this high, right? So it broke this high. So now we made another higher high, you know, with this higher low. So now we're basically looking at this low to make sure that it doesn't get violated. And it came down, almost took out this low, but it bounces back. But the high did not take out this high. So we're still waiting for this guy to take out this high. So finally it took out this high, and now this low become the pivot low. Right? So essentially we got this higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and this become the higher high. And so now this is the higher low that we have to keep an eye on. All right. So in addition to that, we also keep an eye on a potential trend line. You see here, it broke this trend line that kind of, and then come back into it. So it kind of give us a little bit early warning that something might change. Right? So as soon as it broke this trend line, then we know something is happening. And then when it came down and broke this low, even though this is the lower low, I mean this is the higher low, the last higher low, right, from this pivot high. Here it broke this low volume zone, and it came down pretty hard. Right? So once it broke below this pivot low here, then we know this trend, this uptrend is pretty much terminated for now. All right, so now we're basically looking for a reversal, a downtrend. So it broke to here. Right? So what it does is we expect it to come back up and check this level to see, right? Basically put in a lower high, right? Here's the high, right? So now it got a lower low, right? Because that was the low. So now we got a lower low. Now we're going to look for a lower high. So most likely it's going to come back up, maybe do a little bit back check on this low volume zone and then break down. Right, so basically just looking for that on this price action. If we're going to push up next week, we're looking for this thing to possibly come up to this zone and get rejected and pushes back down. Then we look for a break of this low here. And if we break this low, then we'll probably look for a rejection down here at this 147.88 and then pushes back up to check this level here, or come back into this low volume zone and then get rejected and then pushes down. Okay, that's one scenario on the downside. Right? Okay, so we're going to drill in a little bit more on the 60-minute chart. Here we have the 60-minute stock chart of Alibaba stock. And you can see here's this point of control on this composite volume profile. And it closed near there last Friday. So what we have seen, or what we have mapped out a potential scenario for the coming week, was for the price to come up and check this level here, right? This level that broke below, essentially this zone here, this low volume zone around 164.62. Come back, double check that, back test it, and then break. And if we take out this low here, right, then we basically are looking for this 147.88 to get tested, and then maybe get a bounce back up, and then resume back down. Okay, that's one scenario on the downside. And then on the upside is basically a comeback, retake this high, this low, right? Come up, retake that low, and then come back and double check this back test, this low volume zone, and then pushes back up to this low volume zone here, and take out the 171.44, and come back and double check, and then push through, and hopefully it will make it up and get it back above the 179. Then maybe that will resume a stronger uptrend. All right, so that's basically what we are looking at on these potential price scenario. And here is what the market is pricing in for the post-earning move, pricing in plus or minus $9.40. And based on Friday's close, that represent a plus or minus 5.9% move. And the projected upper target would be $168.52. And the lower end target would be $149.72. So let me put that in. So this shaded area is the range that the market had priced in for the post-earning move. All right, so here's at the upper target, $168.52 and $149.72. Okay, so remember what we were saying earlier about the scenario is for this thing to move up, right? Come back test this, and then pushes up to the 171.44 if it is to resume on the upside, and that will take out this 168.52 target. Right, that's the upside. Now on the downside was we were saying that it could come up and get back test this and then fail, and then come down and take out this low. Right, take out this low, then work toward the 147.88, and then pushes back up to back test this breakout level. Right, could come into this zone, this little bit of a low volume zone, then pushes back down and get below this 147.88. So then that will take out the 149.72 target. That's my analysis for Alibaba stock before earning. Be sure to watch my stock market analysis video by clicking on this link here. Good luck.